There's a look inside an abandoned, or I guess no longer used, operator booth here at St. George Station. And this is St. George Street. And today is Wednesday, November 15th. The time is 3:46 p.m. and the temperature right now is around 12 degrees Celsius. There's a look north, up St. George Street. And for this one, I'll be heading south down St. George, starting from just north of Bloor Street here, and passing through the University of Toronto campus. And then south of College, it turns into Beverley Street, and I'll take that down to Queen. And then I'm going to head over into the financial district. I need to meet an old friend from the insurance industry at 4:30. So hopefully my timing is on point with this one. There's the Bata Shoe Museum. And all this work here is due to installation of protected bike lanes on Bloor. We're also resurfacing the street. I think it's a kill two birds with one stone kind of situation. And St. George Street here ends to the north at DuPont, and it goes south all the way down to College. North of here on St. George, you'll find the Chinese consulate. But this stretch I'm going through is entirely through the University of Toronto, which is one of three major universities in the city. And I did a walk through here shortly after the fall semester started. These older homes are now campus facilities. That's the Center for Industrial Relations and Human Resources. Also got a list of historical homes on Beverley Street that hopefully I'll be able to catch and point out. Looks like there's plans to renovate Woodsworth College there into a 6-story building. And this is what's left of those nice fall colors. The trees are already starting to go bare. Some food trucks.
Do you realize how much this shit? No, well.
Yeah, I feel like I stuttered a lot.
There is Robarts Library, a very well-known brutalist building that dates back to 1973. And that is the Rotman School of Management. I don't think I covered this stretch of St. George Street and that fall campus walk. I think these bike lanes date back to the early 1990s. And I'll continue south on Beverley.
I don't know what tone I set with all of you, that's...
Fried skewers. That library was recently renovated and there's a new wing on it on the other side. And this is Hoskin Avenue to the left and Harvard Street to the right. Off in that direction is Victoria College, and Hoskin ends right at Queen's Park. And look directly into the sun for some reason. And this university is 196 years old. It was founded in March of, let me do the math, 1827. And there's over 16,000 faculty members. I forget the student population. I think it's over 60,000. That might include their Scarborough and Mississauga campuses. I had most of that information sorted out for the last video I did through here. I went to York, a school up in North York. The other major university in the city is TMU, formerly known as Ryerson. Let's stick to this side of St. George. I think in the previous video I was over on the west side over there. Bob's Chinese food, bubble tea and poke bowls. There's a cafe. The Arts and Sciences faculty. There's someone kind of walking right on my heels. Sometimes when that happens, I just stop. Not that I care, but there's a look towards the center of the campus. It's the Sir Daniel Wilson residence. But sometimes if someone's walking a little too close, I like to shake their presence. Oh, that is Knox College on the left. This building dates back to the 1800s. Well, I'd be surprised if it didn't, actually. This is probably the nicest continuous stretch of the campus to walk through. Turkish street food. And this area would have been busier. I was here an hour ago. There's some bike parking. There's even an e-scooter there. That's bold. Looks like there's a tour going on. This is the Cumberland House, Center for International Experience, and you can see looks like this building dates back to 1872. And I think that's a Canadian, no, that's the Ontario Heritage Plaque site. Yeah, erected for the Ontario Heritage Foundation. The Canadian ones are kind of a mahogany color, actually. I should have known that. But what's neat is coming up here at College, once we start going south, there's a neat view of the CN Tower I'll be walking towards. As we say goodbye to the college campus environment. There's a green sign across the street that says Beverley Street begins. There's the CN Tower. And several blocks off to the west, you'll find yourself in Chinatown. See, my first house here is at 186 Beverley Street. This is 243. Well, that's the first historically significant building on my list. We'll also be going by the Italian consulate. I think the view might be a little better over on the west side.
Is it 21?
With some frat house vibes. And this is the Grange Park neighborhood, bounded by College Street to the north, University Avenue to the east, which is to my left, Queen's Park to the south, or rather Queen Street to the south, and Spadina to the west. And this walk will be taking us right alongside Grange Park itself. That building there, I believe, is a Polish Combatants Association. And that is for Polish-Canadian veterans of World War II. Did I lose track of the homes? Nope, not yet. We're looking for 186. That is the George Brown House. I am positive these homes here on the right would have heritage status. That one has a plaque on it. These are kind of done in a similar style as the annex style. And this is Baldwin Street coming up. You could go left and head through Baldwin Village, which features a nice little commercial area. Well, there's our heritage building under wraps. It's an 1876 Second Empire style building, but we're not really going to get to see much of it. It's a tad disappointing. I went through all this effort to Google it and make a note of it. Oh well. At 152 we have the Cothra House, which I don't have any information on other than it dates back to the 1870s. This should be Hayden Park Secondary School on the right. And you'll notice the street signs Have Chinese characters on them as well. As this is essentially an extension of Chinatown. We'll be walking right by the west or the east end of Chinatown on Dundas Street in half a block or so. There's the Cawthra House. I think 1874 is the date on that. And those homes over there go back to 1878. In fact, all these ones on the left go back to the 1870s. They would have heritage designations. On the right is the Italian consulate and another really old house, but this one's more of a proper mansion. It's another property dating back to the 1870s. Given that Ottawa is the capital city, Toronto has consulates, but it doesn't have embassies, even though these are more likely to be used by Italians in the country than the one in Ottawa. There's a look into Chinatown. And just on the other side of the street is the Art Gallery of Ontario. All right, let's cross here. And that right there is the Eston House. Again, I had no other information on it, but I do know the age, and that's 1854. It's crazy to think of what this area would have been like way back then. And Grange Park itself is just here on the left. Let's take a little detour through here. This park features a few prominent sculptures. The Ontario College of Art and Design is over on the east end. There's a large dog off-leash zone. And that's the backside of the Art Gallery of Ontario. It's got that old manor featured prominently. That is a building called the Grange. That's a historic, I think it's a Georgian manor. And that dates back to the early 1800s, I think 1817. I say I think because I'm pretty sure I remembered it correctly. There's the iconic Ontario College of Art and Design. Really whimsical and playful building. It was quite controversial when it went up. It would be hard to imagine this area without it. And the back of the AGO, or Art Gallery. All right, let's head back over to Beverley Street. tested this camera directly into the sun. And straight ahead is the Toronto Chinese Baptist Church. I think it had another name. It wasn't originally a Chinese Baptist church. It was just a regular Baptist church. That goes back to the 1880s. I really like that condo building straight ahead, the one clad in white and various shades of gray. It's nice to see a building that isn't just glass. And I imagine the rent in this building here would be a pretty penny. Boy, would you have hit the jackpot if you got in here a long time ago. I would say over 10, 15 years ago. You'd be living comfortably with rent control in a fantastic spot in a very red-hot real estate market. Well, that's cooling down a bit, but rents are still pretty obscene. And this is Queen Street West coming up. Maybe I'll walk over to Simcoe. I'll head down to Richmond or Adelaide. It's 4:15, so I'm making good time. Guy was glancing down at the camera like, what is that thing? We are at Queen and Beverley. And this is east along the north side, as I get rudely interrupted by those ambulance sirens. I tried to go to this Starbucks the other day. That was actually when Jeanette, a longtime viewer, was in town. And we weren't able to get a table, as they didn't have any. I wonder if this construction has anything to do with it. It's a takeout-only Starbucks. That can't be a popular choice come wintertime here. Or the aspiring artist going to bring their MacBook and write the next great novel. A vintage clothing shop.
Which, absolutely, yeah, but like, yeah.
Let's look at the now Bell Globe Media Building, formerly the Chum Building, home of City TV, now CTV. All right, let's cross over here at McCall. I've never been in that shop. Oh, this is Duncan Street.
Chief values?
Yeah, but I also don't want to ride.
All right, let's go right at Simcoe.
So I was literally there.
So I passed that very slow-moving herd of people. It is 4:20. I think my timing is pretty much spot on. I'm going to head over towards Adelaide and University. There's someone on a Moving Pulse e-bike.
Hey, wake up! Fucking child in there, you idiots!
The cyclist was not at all wrong in that situation. That guy was jaywalking with a kid in a stroller. It's funny, I do something like that and post a video, and there's people telling me to stop complaining. It's really all about just being safe. Maybe that guy will think twice before he does that again. Maybe he won't. If that cyclist had a moment of inattention, that wouldn't have ended up good, because clearly the guy with the stroller had a moment of inattention. If you're going to cross against the signal, at least be aware of what's going on around you. There's Ruth's Chris Steakhouse off in the distance. But I think University might be a little more interesting than Simcoe Street here. Let's go left. Oh, speaking of paying attention. And just on that side of the street is the financial district.
I'm fine if I get like okay reading.
There's the Shangri-La. I'm glad I put a light coat in my backpack. Does it look like might have been in the way of that vehicle? "50 degrees, obviously. That is not Celsius." It's interesting to see Adelaide all closed off like this, as they are putting in streetcar tracks that'll serve as a diversion for the Queen Street car, which has already been diverted, but it's going north up to Dundas right now. And York Street here is completely closed off. I was thinking of popping over to FCP. Well, where I need to go is actually over this way. We'll just go half a block more. Really just walking in circles because I'm a few minutes early, but on that note, I hope you enjoyed this one, starting at St. George and heading south, or St. George Station, heading down south through the University of Toronto campus, and then down Beverley Street and over Queen West, or on Queen West to Simcoe, and then over into this part of the financial district. If you want to support what I do here on YouTube, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button up here below the video if you wish to say thanks that way. As we arrive back at a busy University Avenue. A Pizzeria Libretto. Anywho, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink.